Have you ever stopped to wonder, what if right now at this very moment someone somewhere is quietly thinking of you? Not because they text you, not because they told you, but because your name, your smile, your laugh somehow made a permanent home in their daily thoughts. Imagine this. Every morning they wake up and you cross their mind, maybe for a second, maybe longer. In small choices, random pauses, or quiet sighs, your presence lingers and the world doesn't see it. They don't announce it, but psychology tells us these hidden signs speak louder than words ever could. Today we're not talking about obvious flirting, late-night messages, or heart reacts on stories. We're going deeper, 7 unique, lesser-known psychological signs that reveal you truly live quietly, consistently in someone's thoughts. These are signs backed by human behavior, subtle emotional memory, and real research. Signs you won't find in most videos, because they live in the space between words and actions. And if you stay till the end, the last sign might surprise you enough to rethink the people around you. But before we dive in, can I ask you for a small favor? If you've ever wondered whether someone quietly cares about you, please like this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps this channel keep exploring the hidden truths of human psychology, and it truly means more than you know now. Let's begin. What if someone silently carries you in their thoughts every day? Psychology shows subtle, almost invisible signs that reveal the truth. Once you know these signs, you'll see the quiet language behind everyday moments. Watch to the end and share in the comments who comes to mind. Silence often hides what words won't admit. We doubt, overthink, and miss the small truths that matter most. See the signs that quietly whisper, you mean more than you know. Number 1. They subtly change when they think you might appear. Most people wait to see what happens, but someone who quietly thinks about you often shifts when there is even a chance you'll show up. They might adjust their schedule, slightly arriving a few minutes earlier, or staying later. Or they take the long way around, just because it's the route you sometimes take. It's rarely conscious. Psychology calls it anticipatory presence, preparing for a moment that may not even come. They won't say, I waited for you. Yet when asked, they might smile or brush it off with, oh, I was around anyway. But look closely. These patterns repeat. Their body language changes to alertness in their eyes, posture, leaning forward, scanning the doorway when you're late. It's as if part of them starts the conversation before you even arrive, because your presence, real or imagined, quietly reshapes their routine. And if you don't come, you might notice them distracted, checking the clock or glancing around. Signs of silent hope turned into quiet disappointment. It isn't about chasing, it's about how deeply you've become part of what they expect from the day without even realizing it. But even when you're not there, your presence might still leave traces in the words they choose. Number 2, they mention someone whose details sound eerily like you. Have you noticed them telling a story, describing a friend, or using a vague someone whose quirks feel oddly familiar? Psychologists call this coded disclosure, sharing feelings safely by cloaking them in fiction or anecdote. They'll say, a friend I know loves that kind of song, when deep down it's you they mean. Or they'll describe how someone reacts to rain the exact way you do. It feels casual, but it's rarely accidental. Their mind pulls from what's emotionally alive, and that, more often than not, is you. The tone often changes too. Softer voice, half smile, quick glance to see if you recognize yourself. Like a private message hidden in a public sentence. They might change details slightly, but the essence remains: your laugh, your stubbornness, your habits. It's safer than confession, yet revealing in its own way, because you only turn someone into a metaphor when they already live rent-free in your thoughts. Beyond words, your silent influence can appear in places you might never expect. Number 3, you subtly show up in their choices without them telling you why. Notice when they choose the song you once mentioned loving, or start drinking tea instead of coffee after you said you prefer it. They won't say, I did this because of you. Often they won't fully realize it themselves. Psychologists describe this as behavioral resonance. When emotional significance shapes routine, it could be visiting a cafe you talked about, even alone, or rewatching a movie you praised, days or weeks later. These aren't grand gestures. They're small repeated choices that quietly keep you present in their day. Because sometimes it feels comforting to stand where you once stood, to taste what you love, or hear the songs that remind them of your voice. It shows emotional memory at work, not because they need you to see it, but because you have become part of what feels right to them. And if they ever stop, they might feel the day feels duller, quieter. Proof you'd silently become a fixture of their routine. But what happens when you become part of not just their present, but the story they write about tomorrow? Number 4, they imagine futures and quietly include you. Listen carefully when they say, "If we ever go there, you'd love it." Or, "Someday when you see that place, tell me what you think." These aren't invitations. They're windows into where their mind drifts when it's relaxed, honest, and hopeful. Psychologists call this future inclusion, unconsciously placing someone in imagined scenarios because they emotionally belong there. They don't plan these words. They slip out lightly, revealing that in their quiet daydreams, you're part of what makes the moment complete. And the clue is in the naturalness. There's no dramatic build-up, just a gentle we or you'd. Even if the plan never happens, the emotional truth remains. They can't picture certain memories, certain places, without your presence beside them. That quiet hope often matters more than actual plans, because it shows your place in their imagined. One day, without them forcing it, but even more quietly, you might appear in places that speak without words at all. Number 5, they keep small hidden reminders of you. Check their workspace, room, or phone, not for obvious photos but subtle tokens. A ticket stub from a place you went together, a saved message or screenshot, a song in a private playlist titled with an inside joke. Psychologists call this symbolic attachment, objects that keep emotional proximity, even when physical presence is gone. They might never show these to anyone, even you, because it isn't about display, it's about comfort, memory, and quiet connection. These items become anchors, reminders of shared laughter, words or even silences that mattered. The beauty? They don't consciously update these reminders. They accumulate naturally over time as you quietly become part of their personal space. Even if they move or change devices, certain reminders are chosen to stay, because letting them go would feel like letting go of part of you. And in moments when you're truly gone, how does your absence echo louder than your presence? Number 6, your absence creates a subtle imbalance they don't admit. When you're there, things feel steady. When you're gone, even briefly, they might seem quieter, distracted, or less present with others. Psychology calls this emotional displacement, the subtle unease when someone significant is missing from daily life. They might scroll their phone, check your status, or mention you casually, wonder what they're up to. Not dramatically, but enough that friends might tease them about it. The irony? They often don't notice how visible it is, because to them it feels natural. Missing you isn't a choice, it's a reflex. And it reveals the depth of your influence. Your absence doesn't create chaos, it just leaves the day feeling incomplete. This quiet longing is gentle but persistent. Proof you've become part of what makes ordinary moments feel whole. Finally, there's a sign that happens without words. Objects or plans, but in how they watch you. Number 7. They observe your unnoticed details and carry them silently. Notice the small moments. They remember the way you touch your hair when nervous. They recall the exact face you make when you hear something sad. Psychologists call this micro-observation, storing nonverbal cues because someone has emotional weight in your life. They might bring it up gently weeks later. You looked tired that day, did you sleep okay after? Or notice changes even you overlook. You switched your ringtone, didn't you? These aren't facts they studied. They're quiet proofs of how often you replay in their mind even when you're not around. They don't share all they notice. Some details are kept private, treasured quietly, because you're not just part of what they see, you're part of what they feel. And sometimes, that silent noticing is the loudest confession of all. You live in my thoughts, even when I say nothing. If even one of these signs felt strangely familiar, tell your story in the comments below. Like this video if it helped you see the quiet side of love and memory. And don't forget to subscribe, because there's so much more hidden truth waiting to be uncovered together.